George Garzone, born September 23, 1950, is a saxophonist and jazz educator residing in Boston. Saxophonist George Garzone is a member of the Fringe, a jazz trio founded in 1972 that includes bassist John Lockwood and drummer Bob Gullotti. The group has released several albums. Garzone has appeared on over 20 recordings. He began on the tenor saxophone when he was 6, played in a family band and attended music school in Boston. He has guested in many situations, touring Europe with Jamaaladeen Tacuma and performing with Danilo Perez, Joe Lovano, DeJohnette, Rachel Z, Bob Weir and Ratdog, and John Patitucci. Biography. Garzone is also a jazz educator, teaching at the Berklee College of Music, New England Conservatory, Longy School of Music, New York University and the New School for Jazz and Contemporary Music. He has pioneered a triadic chromatic approach, and students of his have included Joshua Redman, Branford Marsalis, Mindy Aber, Tedros Avery, Luciana Souza, Mark Turner, Donnie McCaslin, Doug Yates, Danilo Perez, and Axel Kamel Hachadi. In 1995 he recorded a tribute to Stan Getz on NYC Records called Alone. Fours and Twos followed a year later with Joe Lovano, which earned him 4 stars in Downbeat. And in 1999 Garzone returned with Moodyology. Fringe in New York was released in summer 2000. He is a member of the Grammy-winning Joe Lovano Nonet, and performed and recorded with this group at the Village Vanguard in September 2002. He has performed with the Fringe, Kenny Barron, Harvey Swartz, Dan Gottlieb, John Patitucci, Bill Stewart, Jamaaladeen Tacuma, Tom Harrell, Don Alias, Danilo Perez, Lenny White, Joe Lovano, Marvin Smitty Smith, Gary Peacock, Dennis Chambers, Anton Fig, Cecil McBee, Dave Holland, Stanley Cowell, Bob Moses, and Dave Liebman. Critical reception. Reviews of Fours and Twos. Quote, "Part of the fun is contrasting Garzone's and Lovano's approaches to the material, made up largely of Garzone compositions and vehicles for blowing. Listeners who investigate Fours and Twos to hear Lovano will carry away a new or renewed appreciation of Garzone's strengths as well." Quote, "This is an aggressive recording, but the aggressive character lies not so much in aggression as in a joyful refusal to let any element of the music stand unchallenged." Quote, "In George Garzone's case, Coltrane has never been far afield from his own voice. With his band of 25 years, The Fringe, he exercised the more free improvisational aspects of Coltrane. As a sideman to Danilo Perez, Joe Lovano, George Russell, Gunther Schuller, Rachel Z, Jack DeJohnette, Billy Hart, and even Jamaaladeen Tacuma, I always heard the Coltrane spirit in his playing. Garzone has always possessed an expansive warm tone that moves from inside to out jazz with relative ease. Like Train, his music resonates from what must be a warm and beautiful soul." Mark Caroto, All About Jazz. Com. Discography. As a Leader, Alone, NYC, 1995, with Luciana Souza. Voice, Chuck Loeb. Guitar, David Kikoski. Piano, Eddie Gomez. Bass, Lenny White. Drums, Fours and Twos, NYC, 1996, with Joe Lovano. Saxophones, Joey Calderazzo. Piano, John Lockwood. Bass, Bill Stewart. Drums, Demetrios Dream. Music by Gianni Pezzano. NI Records. 1997. Moodyology. NYC. 1999. With Kenny Werner. Piano, John Lockwood. Bass, Bob Gullotti. Drums, Claire Daly. Baritone saxophone, Douglas Yates. alto saxophone, bass clarinet, Mike Manieri, vibraphone. The Fringe in New York, NYC, 2000, with The Fringe and Mike Manieri, vibraphone. 1 2 3 4, Stunt, 2007, with Chris Crocco, guitar, Dennis Irwin, bass, Pete Zimmer, drums. Audacity, Challenge, 2012, with Frank Tiberi, Jacob Hoyer, Jonas Westergaard, Rasmus Elas, with The Fringe. The Fringe, Apgugar, 1978, Live, Apgugar, 1980, Hey Open Up, Apgugar, 1985, The Raging Bulls, Apgugar, 1986, Return of the Neanderthal Man, Northeastern, 1989, It's Time for the Fringe, Soul Note, 1992, Live in Israel, Soul Note, 1997, Live in Isao, Soul Note, 2002, The Fringe Live at the Zeitgeist, Resolution, 2005, with others, George Russell and the In Living Time Orchestra, The African Game, Blue Note Records, Blue Note, 1983, Morty Ferber, Mr. X, Half Note, 1985, Bob Moses, Tisazi G. Munoz, Love Everlasting, Amulet, 1987, The Shull Dogs, Tenor Tantrums, GM, 1988, Gunther Schuller, Orange Then Blue, Jumpin' in the Future, GM, 1989, Orange Then Blue, Where Were You, GM, 1989, George Schuller, Looking Up from Down Below, GM, 1990, Wolfgang Muthspiel, Black and Blue, Amadeo, 1992, Danilo Perez, The Journey, Novice, 1993, Alex Deutsch, Pink, Inc., DIW, 1991, Ingrid Jensen, Vernal Fields, Enya, 1994, Rachel Z., Room of One's Own, NYC, 1996, David White, Double Double, CIMP, 1998, Dave Bryant, The Eternal Hang, Accurate, 1999, Mike Manieri, An American Diary Volume 2, The Dreamings, NYC, 1999, Claire Daly, Swing Low, Koch, 1999, Luciana Souza, The Answer to Your Silence, NYC, 1999, Frank Tiberi, Tiberian's Mode, NY Jam, 1999, Johnny Johansson, Boston Tea Party, Bieber, 1999, various artists, As Long as You're Living Yours, The Music of Keith Jarrett, Victor, RCA, 2000, Joe Lovano Nonette, 52nd Street Themes, Blue Note, 2000, Martin Taylor, Kiss and Tell, Sony, 2000, Jerry Steinhilber, Chicago Tryout New York Tenor, Soul Note, 2001, Barry Wedgley, Paradise, Exit, 2001, Dino Govoni, Breakin' Out, Wailing City Sound, 2001, Joe Lovano Nonette, On This Day, At the Vanguard, Live, Blue Note, 2002, Abby and Norm Group, Melodic Miner's Daughter, A to Z Music, 2003, Ein Inserto Jazz Orchestra with Bob Brookmeyer and George Garzone, Clairvoyance, self-published, 2006, Chris Crocco Fluid Trio, self-published, 2007, Lello Molinari, Multiple Personalities, No More Misty, Nice Guy, On a Boston Night, Leah Goff Cooper's Human Equivalent, Future Pop, FTR, 2009, performances with prominent artists, saxophonists, George Adams, Jerry Bergonzi, NEC faculty, Michael Brecker, Kenny Brooks, Claire Daly, Kenny Garrett, Dave Liebman, Joe Lovano, Tony Malaby, Joshua Redman, James Spaulding, Stan Strickland, Frank Tiberi, Steve Wilson. Trumpet players: Randy Brecker, Tom Harrell, Eddie Henderson, Ingrid Jensen, John McNeil. NEC faculty: Tiger Okoshi, Herb Pomeroy. Berkeley faculty: Barry Rice. Trombonists: Bob Brookmeyer. NEC faculty: Hal Crook. Pianists: Kenny Barron, Ran Blake. NEC faculty: Joanne Brackeen, Jackie Byard, Joey Calderazzo, Chick Corea, Stanley Cowell, David Kikoski, Bevan Manson, John Medeski. NEC alum: Alan Pasqua, Danilo Perez. NEC faculty: Kenny Werner, Rachel Zed. NEC alum: guitarists: John Abercrombie, Mick Goodrick, Chuck Loeb, Ben Munda. NEC faculty: Wolfgang Muthspiel, Martin Taylor, Barry Wedgley, David White. Drummers, percussionists: Don Alias, Jeff Ballard, Brian Blade, Gary Chaffee. NEC faculty: Dennis Chambers, Jack DeJohnette, Peter Erskine, Al Foster, Bob Gullotti, Billy Hart, Roy Haynes, Elvin Jones, Mel Louie, Mike Manieri. Vibes: Racklim, Bob Moses, Buddy Rich, Mikey Roker, George Schuller. NEC alum: Steve Smith, Jerry Steinhilber, Bill Stewart, Lenny White, Ken Kozlu. Bassists: Ron Carter, Ray Drummond, Eddie Gomez, Larry Grenadier, Dave Holland. Former NEC faculty: Dennis Irwin, Mark Johnson, John Lockwood. NEC faculty: Cecil McBee, Christian McBride, John Patitucci, Gary Peacock, Ed Schuller. NEC alum: Harvey S. Miroslav Vitis. Former NEC faculty: Reggie Workman. Composers, conductors: Gil Evans, Gunther Schuller, Lello Molinari. Ensembles: the Carla Bley Big Band, Gil Evans Orchestra. The Fringe, with John Lockwood and Bob Gullotti, George Russell and the In Living Time Orchestra. The Joe Lovano Nonette, Medeski, Martin and Wood. Orange Then Blue. The Woody Herman Band. Non-jazz artists: Aerosmith, Musica Viva, tribute to Kurt Weill. The Dells. Extreme, Aretha Franklin, Engelbert Humperdinck, singer, Tom Jones, Gladys Knight, Liberace, New Kids on the Block, Elvis Presley, The Temptations, Rodney Dangerfield, Ratdog. Notable students: saxophone, woodwinds, Teodros Avery, Seamus Blake, Kenny Brooks, Chris Cheek, Dino Govoni, Brian Landrus, Branford Marsalis, Donnie McCaslin, Bill McHenry, Andrew Rathbun, Joshua Redman, Eric Rasmussen, Scott Robinson, Walter Smith III, Chris Speed, Marcus Strickland, Mark Turner, Ken Vandermark, Doug Yates, Bruce Bath, piano, Damian Dragici, Pam flute, Danilo Perez, piano, Antonio Sanchez, drums, Luciana Souza, voice, John Sullivan, bass, Chris Wood, bass, Manuel Valero, piano, Norm Zocker, guitar, Christopher Crocco, guitar. References, external links, official website, George Garzone's Berklee College of Music faculty page.